what is the cost of staying in the same situation that I'm in today? There's a cost to everything. Talking about what you can do and actually doing it are two different things. So if you're actually ready to make a change or to start something new, you got to get off that whole pedestal. Stop talking and put your money where your mouth is. You guys know what I mean. But I make these videos and I write on Substack for women who are ready to make a big life pivot, a big change, but maybe they're just stuck at that starting line. And so I make these videos for you. If that sounds like you, something you may be interested in, we're going to go ahead and take this walk. And today we are in Bangkok, Thailand. I made the trip down from Chiang Mai and we're here a couple days and then we'll be on to our next country. But today I was taking a long walk. We came to this park here. It's beautiful. But I took a walk here with my husband and we were talking about another business idea. And if you know anything about us, we are both always talking about business ideas. If you're familiar with human design, we both have the gate of ideas, gate 11. And so we're always ideating. It's one of our favorite things to do together. But he came up with an idea. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And you can do this, you can do that. And I started talking about how to execute it. I'm a manifestor in human design, so I'm all about initiating and taking action. But I said, it's all fun, but if you're not going to do anything with it, then we're really just talking. And some people might hear that and be like, oh, but it's fun to just talk, or it's okay to just have ideas. But if you're one of those people that you find yourself always just talking about the idea and not actually taking action, then that gets old after a while. Like, what is it for? And so it got me thinking about all the times that myself or other people in my life, we will complain about a situation, something that we don't like. You come up with an idea to change it, but then you sit on it. You don't actually do something to make anything different in your life. So I don't know. I find that to be a problem because time is going to pass either way, right? So if there's something you don't like, you let 3 months pass, 6 months pass, a year has passed, and you're still complaining about the same thing. But during that time, you had the power to actually do something about it, to make a change. And so the idea that came to mind is sometimes we get stuck talking in our dreams. You're just talking through the dream. It's like you're living in a daydream, but you never wake up to actually make that your reality. And to some people that may not be a problem, but for me it is, because it just gets old. What's the point of complaining if you're not going to do anything to change it, right? And so the other thing that came to mind is sometimes we can find ourselves ruminating in the potential of what could be. That's also just the same thing. It's just equally annoying. And so it's fun to come up with ideas, think about how things could be, but if you're not actually ready to make a change and do something about it, then you really should just kind of stop complaining, right? That's just the way I see it. And maybe that sounds inconsiderate, maybe, but people can always find reasons to complain. There's always something that you may not like in your situation, but you may not have control over all of the external factors, but there are things that you can change. And so that's something that, I want people to consider. So you may not be able to change everything, like I said, but if you want to sit down and consider what can you change. And I said something like this, something similar to this the other day, but it's worth saying again, because I think this is where a lot of people get stuck. They're afraid to start over because they think they're starting from the bottom, or they're afraid of what may happen if they do make a big change. Like if they do make a decision, they want to think about all the things that could not work out, could fall, could fail. They think about what people may say about them if they fail, which again, I don't believe in failure, but you have to get past that and consider what is the cost of staying in the same situation that I'm in today. There's a cost to everything. So the cost can be regret in not making a change. There's maybe regret in not making that move, regret in not changing the job. These are all things you have to consider. I want you guys to see a different view. But think about what is the cost in remaining in the same situation. The cost could also be staying in a job that you hate and you're there 5 years when you could have gone to another job and maybe gotten a promotion, gotten a raise, got better coworkers to be on your team. There's always a cost to everything. And so I think it's important to consider what the cost is to you not making a change and just continuing to talk in those dreams. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today. For me, I've been thinking about, I was always talking about what I wanted to do with my brand, what I wanted to do with my writing and YouTube and all that. And I really just got tired of talking in circles about it and then not actually taking any action. You got to get tired of your own BS, really. And so I got an alert from Substack yesterday that I've been posting on Substack weekly for the past 7 weeks. And even though a lot of times, most times, it feels like no one's actually reading those articles or those posts, but I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself because I'm actually doing it. Instead of just talking, I'm actually doing what I said I was going to do. So then the next step for me is then going to be pitching myself to publications, getting my first byline. Like, that is my goal. And the only way I'm going to get there is by consistently doing what I say I'm going to do, not just talking about it, being about it, that old saying. And so I want to challenge you guys to that too. What are the things that you're just talking about, but you're not actually doing? Who's the person you're not being? Before I forget, if you're considering making a big life change, some kind of big shift or pivot, and you are stuck at that starting line, I made a free course just for you to help you figure out what's really stopping you from making that change. It's a 5-day email course, and it's called Before the Shift, because before you make that shift, there may be some things you need to work out. So go ahead and click the link in the description and get access to that free course. You'll get your first email immediately and then one each day for 5 days. And I promise that you will at least uncover some things that are holding you back. All right? So that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow.